Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you!
Had to switch up on the flow, gotta keep them on their toes. I move quick, I make the most, why they copy what I wrote. Follow everything I post, never trip about a clone, cause they know what's a sheep to a goat. Yeah. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise they ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, hey, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in.
I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. What's up?
Motherfucker, I hate this motherfucker.
No, Sam, that's not how we do it. Let me show you how we take care of the creature. Let me show you how we take care of the creature. Go, Rita!
No, hold on. Let me finish my point, you jerk.
You don't call your dad a jerk.
Well, you're being a jerk.
The laws of physics do not exist on my charcoal grill.
But what's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Siamese twins.
Siamese. What did you say? Siamese twins.
But my agent said I may need to get a lawyer after that comment.
Oh God, I just got what you were saying. That's not what I meant. Oh man, that is just off the wall bad. We just had one of our guests on, Jason Fry, talking about the Celtics are going to win their 19th championship. So what have you got to say about that?
Who this Jason Fry character is, he was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. Okay. All right. I have a feel we're about to be joined by Sir George. He normally comes out of the black hole. Oh, there he is. Sir George. He is
it's
back.
You play football. What's up? You never
Well, I just want to say,
Hey, Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just sold Jerry a joke. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. You're number one, Jerry. Number one.
Oh, my God. We're moving on. We've killed the Cowboys. Matter of fact, get out. I'm tired of talking to you. Give me freaking JJ. Bring JJ on the show. Holy crap. Let's hear his opinion about this damn trade and why they made this decision. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now and just not admit you were
ninth in the country.
I think you're just trying to cover your ass right now. And
you know what? I got a big ass, so
that's a lot of
cover. A lot of cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Did you just pull a drape? Is that so I can open it up when I need to go?
Hey, you're getting too deep into this. Rivalries make sports great, but they got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird. If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE All-Star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight.
How do you like me now? What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Whoa. I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ass. Somehow he talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich. It's 35-7, and it's only 7 because you just scored. Shut up.
And they're playing with sticks, and they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there. They play with sticks and pucks. Trying to grow the game, man. Global game.
These people, they don't give a damn.
Well, I don't really know, but it drives me nuts. You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It drives me nuts.
Oh man.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Yes, folks, welcome in. The self-proclaimed best in the podcast game is back on this beautiful Wednesday night. And the old man is not abandoning his fatherly duties this evening. He is with us. And actually, you know what? I'm only referencing that because you obviously didn't catch that during last week's show because you didn't comment on it. But I have to say,
My fatherly, I did not know podcasts were included in fatherly duties. And you're sort of kind of grown now. So I kicked your ass out the nest. So fly, bird, fly. Birdman, fly.
I left when I was 18. Like, calm down, buddy.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not abandoning any
fatherly duties last until you are no longer on this planet. So,
okay,
just enjoy the time that we have together. But ladies and gentlemen, I am Casey, the remix schedule. He is the bald and the beautiful Eddie, the original schedule. Our number one fan. Hopefully she's watching. Hopefully she is. But we like to start the show with a joke to show you this is a sports show, not a comedy act, because we're not that great at comedy. So the old man tries to make me laugh. He hasn't made me laugh. And I mean, soon it's going to be saying 2 years. Like, we're creeping up on 2 years here soon. Well, I mean, not soon, but it's closer to 2 years than 1 year. Let's say that. So, yeah, go ahead. Let the people hear the funny.
I have two because I have one that I made up today that Angie doesn't want me to tell, but I'm going to tell it anyway. But the first one is did you hear that laughing too loudly in Hawaii is illegal? They only permit a aloha. Here's the one. Okay. I made this up today. I was looking for my wife and I couldn't find her. Shocker. And then finally I called her and she told me she's taking a poo. And I said, oh, well, that's a relief.
That's probably one of your better ones. That's probably one of your better ones.
It's like, please don't tell that. But, you know.
That one got me to smile. I won't lie. That one, your original work is probably your best work, other than the drive. So that might go on the highlight reel before the show, and we'll dedicate that highlight to my amazing stepmother. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, lot to go over. The old man is back, so we're going to get some of his reactions a little later in the show to the trades the Cowboys made, and if there's any others he wants to comment on throughout the league. But tonight we are going to start with the Dallas Mavericks. Then we're going to get into the Cowboys. Then our NFL roundabout, get lost in the NFL. College football rankings and results from this past weekend. Then we got a little making the most of your moment, I think, thrown in there, and some couple other things to wrap it up. So let's go and start off with the Dallas Mavericks. I know they're not your team, but they're my team. They're many people's team that watch this show. They finally fired Nico's motherfucking ass. Thank you.
Whoa.
Sorry. Hey, children, there are some times you have to emphasize a point with naughty words, and that is this point. Thank you for firing his ass. It's only, 7 months too late. So I'm going to get your reaction, and then I'm going to continue on. But go ahead.
Well, I think it was kind of obvious he was not going to last just because, he's responsible for what's considered one of the most heartbreaking trades in Maverick history, right? With Luca. And it's, you better win to get over that and prove that it was a decision that made sense. But I don't think, obviously, they haven't done that. Obviously, with the rookie coming in, Coop, it's not working out too well for him. So, not a big surprise. I think ever since that happened, the Mavericks have been kind of a mess. They've been kind of chaos. So, and I think you got another player hurt again. I think it's a constant issue with the Mavericks now. So, welcome change for Mavericks fans, I guess.
Yes, it's a 1,000% welcome change for us in Mavericks land. The chance they were still kicking people out of the stadium for yelling "Fire Nico" or wearing "Fire Nico" shirts at the beginning of this year. That tells me they weren't not the fans, but the Nico and his minions weren't over it yet. They were still butthurt by the fans and any GM. And I'm going to get to what I said after the trade here in a minute because I was kind of waiting for you to throw me out there. Is any GM who doesn't relay or doesn't have a grasp on their fan base and what a star means to that fan base. This was the equivalent of if in 92 or 93, the Cowboys trade Troy Aikman, or something of that nature. This is the Jordan being traded from the Bulls in 92. Something of that, though that's what it meant to the fan base. I'm not saying Luka is as good as those guys, but that's to be debatable. But now after the trade, I was trying to take a sane approach, not jump off a cliff. And I said, okay, I can see the vision here when you're talking about defense, when you're talking about Lively, Gafford, Davis on the front line. Anthony Davis, before he was traded, he was a little bit hurt, but he was having a defensive
He's hurt again right now, right?
Huh?
Isn't he hurt right now?
Yeah, he's back in street clothes. His nickname holds true. And then, Kyrie blows his knee out. And, you just kind of go through this whirlwind. And I never seen so many injuries hit a basketball team. There were literally almost nights they couldn't field a team because they were out of two-way contracts. They couldn't sign any more free agents. It was kind of a crazy situation with Dallas last year, and Jason Kidd was trying to hold it together the best he could. I mean, and ultimately, I was trying to see this vision, so I didn't just fall into sheep of the rest of the fan base. That's what I didn't want to do. I tried to take a different viewpoint. It doesn't mean I thought the trade was justified. I never justified the trade. I was just trying to make sense of it. And he himself, Nico Harrison, the one time he talked to the public after the trade, said we have a 2 to 3 year window, including this year, to win a championship. Well, last year was a bust because of injuries. This year you have more injuries, and you're 2-8. You're last in the Western Conference, and you haven't done anything to, alleviate the pressure from the fan base. So ultimately, I think you have to sit there, and if you're Patrick Dumont, who says he's legitimately trying to win back the fan base, this was the first step. But the problem is he traded away all their assets, first round picks, things of that nature. I think next year is their only first round pick for like the next 6 years or 5 years or something like that. It's insane. So great first step. Getting rid of the guy, but he's not going to lose any sleep. He's going to get paid because he got fired, and he gets to walk away with his hands pretty much clean of this, and I don't have to deal with it anymore. Oh well, and that's the sucky part of sports. When you fire someone in professional sports, at least they still get paid. So, but I think this team needs to start thinking about trading the valuable assets they have other than Cooper Flagg. It's buy Klay Thompson, buy Anthony Davis, and start let these young guys play a lot. Let them get experience, and try to get the best pick you can this year because it's the only one that you're going to have for a long, long time. So it was a mess. I tried to see the vision. I tried to think outside the fog of anger. And Nico Harrison, you are an asshole. That's all I'm going to say. Nico Harrison, you're an asshole. You suck. All right.
Well, tell us how you really feel. But yeah, it's fortunately for the Mavericks, they got a long way to go. And I don't see a whole lot changing. Obviously there was a lot of buzz over Cooper Flag coming in, being the man leading this franchise, pairing up with Anthony Davis. But Anthony Davis basically sneezes and he's put on IR. Yeah, right now, there's only two teams in Texas that seem to be doing well, even though the Rockets, you could say the jury's out on that. But the Spurs look pretty good. And my goodness, the Thunder have lost one game so far, 11-1. Thunder are coming on like gangbusters again.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder are like the WNBA. Nobody cares. And it's hard to watch.
Okay.
It's hard to watch.
Okay.
SGA is the worst MVP of all time. And he has no bag. He just flops on I never thought I'd say someone was a bigger flopper than LeBron. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's a worse flopper than LeBron James.
So you're gonna be rooting for the Spurs then?
No, I'm not. Damn well I'm not rooting for the Spurs. I don't root for the Rockets. I'm a Mavericks through and through. But I will say this: I will find a team.
What do you have, like a Mavericks tattoo or something?
I kind of do. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. But I will say this is Cooper Flag was never going to be a LeBron James come in and average 20 plus a game rookie. That he's not built like that. I think he has the ability and he will get to, all-star level. I think he'll be very good. But I think you give the older players, give them a chance. Talk to Kyrie, like, hey, when you get healthy, where do you want to go?
I'm kind of getting older.
I was going to get to it at the end, but if you want to just,
okay.
I mean, do you want me to serenade you with "Happy Birthday" right now?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, now I don't need the Bruce Bochy happy birthday thing.
To you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you. Yes, the old man, he's been old, but he's even older today. The big 6-0. Hey,
Fine,
you're not going to tell me to wish you happy birthday and not put the number out there, all right? You're not 22 like on your shirt, which shout out to Mission 22, by the way. Great order.
Yeah, I'm going to mention that when we get to the Cowboys because they had a certain situation.
Well, that's going to wrap up our Mavericks talk. Let's go ahead and hear our first commercial break. But before you press play on that, when we come back, we're going to get into the Dallas Cowboys and what happened last week with them, as well as our preview coming into Vegas. So stick around, y'all.
Parents, help your student find their true path with the Berkman Career Assessment. Imagine if you had discovered your true passion right after high school. How much further along would you be in a fulfilling life? Now picture giving that gift to your student. The Berkman Career Assessment is designed to uncover the career paths that align with your student's unique personality, interests, and needs. Don't let them wander through years of uncertainty. Equip them with clarity and confidence to pursue a future where they thrive. Act now. Invest in their purpose with Berkman today at easyleadership.com or email us for a free career checkup.
Yeah, it's easyleadership.com, and we reduced the price on that to help out students. Right now, it is only $149. So Would you? How you pay that much for tennis shoes? I mean, to help them with their future. Imagine that if you had known that.
No,
So
no one says tennis shoes anymore.
yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
What do they say?
They just say shoes or kicks or like they don't say
Kicks is a
tennis
brand.
shoes. I'm sorry. It's
And
just no one
thieves
says
say
tennis shoes.
sneakers.
You're showing your age right here.
No, it's tennis shoes.
No, they're just shoes.
You have dress shoes and you have tennis shoes.
No.
Then you have boots.
Like
Yes.
Air Force Ones are not tennis shoes. Tennis shoes are played for the sport of tennis.
Yeah, but tennis shoes.
Yeah, but Air Force Ones are not tennis shoes. Vans are not tennis shoes.
What are they?
They're just shoes.
Well, that's stupid. How do you know? If I say we're going out and put on your good shoes, then how the hell do you know what to wear? Dress shoes? Tennis shoes? Boots? What?
That's why I have all white leather Vans that can be dressed anywhere and go with any outfit.
Oh God, Imelda Marcos. Okay.
I'm just
You
letting
don't
you
know who that is, but
all right. Well, Dallas
You're
Cowboys
famous
were on a
for
bye
her.
last week, so that we didn't have to watch that atrocious defense. And so no wins, no losses for the Cowboys in the win column or the loss column. Made some trades. You weren't here right after the trade deadline. What did you think of the Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams pickups? Did you agree with them? Do you like them? Do you think it impacts now or future? Where are you feeling on that?
Well, for the Williams trade, and I like the Logan trade too, but Williams most especially is a player that definitely makes an impact right now. But I think this is really for the future because this team is too far gone, in my opinion. Even though there's a potential for this defense, not just plugging these guys in, but they're getting Overshawn back. He is practicing and he's coming back. So this defense has a chance to completely turn around. Now, I still don't. I wish the news out of someone getting fired had been the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys because he needs to go. He needs to go. But I think this defense has a chance to turn things around and get a pass rush. And now and I'm really praying that Overshawn is able to stay healthy now because he makes such a difference in that defense as far as covering the outside, especially, you go back to the first game of the year and Jalen Hurts getting out and just running all over us. He's one who's going to cause some problems out there. But Williams is a Pro Bowl player. You pair him up the middle with what's his name from Green Bay? I can't think of his name right.
Kenny Clark.
Yeah, with Clark in the middle. I mean, there shouldn't be any excuses as far as stopping the run anymore.
Don't forget about Ziggy too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I just think we have a chance to see the defense make a turnaround. Now I don't think the secondary obviously still has issues, but once again, a good pass rush will make a mediocre secondary look good. So yeah, I like the trades. I think, but like I said, I think it's more for the future. So that's my opinion on it.
So you mentioned help is on the way. Revel, the corner that they drafted last in the draft, who's I think he's about 6'2", 6'3". He's a big corner. He's looking like he's on track to play against Vegas as well with Overshown. So Yeah, help is on the way. Obviously, you're not going to know what you're going to get out of a rookie, but right now, any help is good help for the secondary. I think our safeties are. I mean, they haven't been great, Hooker and Wilson, but it's better than throwing out practice squad guys out there. I think they're some of them are on their way to get healthy as well. So, yeah, these moves were definitely for the future, and but no game last week, so I had a little bit of time, and I wanted to contact. We haven't had him on for a while, but he's been watching the games over in London. Our long lost cousin, Sir George, is coming on the show. So, old man's going to go get him. And so from England, we love Sir George. He is our favorite cousin from overseas. And we'll see what he has to say about the good old Dallas Cowboys and see if he's attended any of the games that have been in London. There's been a lot of games in London. See if you got a day off to go over there and check them out. So ultimately, good things. So also, if you're watching the show, don't forget to follow us on. You can follow me on X and TikTok at Coach Schedule. On YouTube, you can follow us on Time Sports Talk, as well as Facebook on Time Sports Talk, and follow all our guys. Sorry in advance. That's our Philly podcast. Recognized Game. Hopefully they're coming back soon. But they do a lot of basketball. They have a lot of good merch too, by the way. The crew out of Denver. If you were watching the show, I was on with them a couple weeks ago when we played Denver, and I had to take that. And then we got our wrestling show, Saturday Smack Talk. Love what they do on Saturday. So, all right, Sir George, I think he is about ready. Hey, how we doing, Sir George?
What's up? How's it going?
Nothing much. It's been a while. How have you been?
Yes, there's been a lot going on over in jolly old England with the king, and I like the background there. It's like I'm jogging. It's like I'm jogging down the road here. Is that backwards? Oh yeah, I was going backwards.
There's the Eye of London. Have you ever ridden the Eye of London, Sir George?
Of course, I've ridden the Eye of London. I've also ridden the butthole of London. So I've done lots of different things. So that's an inside joke. Obviously, oh my God, I cracked myself up.
Wow.
So that was bloody fine.
Well, so Sir George, I first want to ask you, you've been watching the Cowboys. This is year 2 of watching the Cowboys. I know last year was a disaster. I know your feelings. You gave Jerry the good old number 1 salute many times. How you feeling about this year's team? The offense looks great. Defense is atrocious. Are you feeling better about being an England Cowboys fan?
England, that is blasphemy. Well, let me put it to you this way. They are terrible. Oh my God. Why do you make me even comment on this stupid team? I mean, it's ridiculous. Every year you talk about this, at least you've talked to me about it, that, they've got a lot of pieces in place. They've got CD, they've got the nose pickings, and they've got this running back, Jamal Jury. I don't know how to say these names. Williams, just go with Williams. It's
Javonte.
Javonte.
Yeah.
Williams. Okay, that's just. Why do people give these kids these names? It's like, no, it says, okay, Andre. No, it's Andre. No, it's Andre. But why can't we just say the name the way it's pronounced? It's like that skit, the guy can't pronounce names that from whatever that show is. I don't know what it is. Like he's a substitute teacher.
You're talking about Key and Peele.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's very big over here in London. Unlike the Cowboys.
The Cowboys aren't big in London.
No, no,
They're
not.
America's team. They're not England's team.
No, no, that would be real football. Real football. We have our own real football where we actually use our feet and kick the ball.
Well,
but I know there's some kicking in your football.
Well, I mean,
But,
there's an NFL game like almost every week in England. Have you been to any of them?
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny because I'm part of the King's Secret Service that he's went to. Well, I actually can't even say that. But why do you people send us like the worst team? You send one good team, and then you send one shitty team, and it's like it's the games suck ass when they come over here. I mean, it's not even exciting. You send us the Jets. I don't think the Jets have won a game since the jet engine was created or invented back in World War II.
Well, they just won last week. So.
Oh, well, what? Did the other team forfeit or something? Because they're bad. That's so yes, it's just stop sending your teams over here. At least send some good teams. Send us a lot of the Eagles and the Chiefs. That would be probably a good game for people to watch. But not the Jets or who's another shitty team?
The Browns.
It's
the Jaguars.
The Browns. The Browns. Oh my goodness. Or the Giants. I don't think the Giants are coming over here. They can stay at home because they're more the Giants. So
so you said a lot is going on with the king and the royal family. Give us a little insight on what's been going on, what you can, since you have been upgraded from the King's Guard to the King's Secret Service, as you just informed the people.
Well, the king, that we've obviously had a cancer scare with the king. And we did have a problem the other day. We get a lot of wind in England sometimes, and the king's ears are very, very big. Let's just put it that way. He has very big ears. And unfortunately, every time the wind starts to kick up above like 20 knots or something like that, he has a tendency to fall backwards. And it's because of the wind. And so we call it the up Charlie. It's code up Charlie. We've had a lot of code up Charlies lately when we have to catch him or we miss him. It's not unlike what you guys had when you had Biden falling all over his place and getting lost. I remember the last time I saw him in England, he fell off the side of a stage, and luckily the cameras weren't on, and he got up and then started screaming that no one had his ice cream cone or something like that. I don't know, but it was quite entertaining, actually.
So if King Charles, when he does pass on, do you have to be one of the pallbearers?
Oh, I can neither confirm nor deny that, and we don't really call them pall bearers because obviously pall bearers are people who bear pall, and we don't do that because Paul is not a good name in England. And the reason is because there was a certain person from America that was like, the British are coming, British are coming, the British are coming. A certain Paul. And so we don't like the name Paul here. The British are coming. So I don't. Yeah. So don't bring your kid named Paul over here.
Well, it obviously worked because we have no kings over here. So
No, but you had a protest though. No kings
yeah,
in
that
America.
was
That's
like a
that's
waste
kind
of
of
time.
that's
Waste.
kind of a protest over something that you already have. I was that's just stupid to me. I don't. You
Yeah,
already have.
we don't get too political on the show, but I would tend to agree with you, Sir George. All right. Well, we appreciate you hopping on. I'm
All right.
assume you're about to get some cycling exercise in after this interview based on your shirt. So, good luck on that. Looking fitter.
Yes.
So,
Well, I appreciate
yeah,
that. Actually, I'm getting undressed because I'm.
yeah. Let's move off that. All right. No nudity on this show. We may drop an MFer once in a while, but we are not going nude. Good Lord. So, all right. When the old man comes back, we'll go to commercial, hear from easyleadership.com, of course, again. And we'll go around. No, we'll talk Houston Texans when we get back. So, oh, by the way, I forgot to say it in the intro. If you guess what's in the canter, what whiskey is in the canter, if you get it right, I will personally buy and send you a bottle of whiskey. So that'll be our whiskey of the week. What's in the canter? So, all right, that was Sir George. So good to check in with our long lost cousin. And here's some further words from EasyLeadership.com.
Have you heard of the DISC communication tool? Yes, most people in business have. But there is a new tool out there that is tailored for leadership teams. It is called the DISC Work of Leaders and focuses on 3 main areas: vision, alignment, and execution. This amazing assessment is not just a game changer. It is a business strategy necessity if you want to create sustainability. Let's be honest, a lot of executives spend many hours in HR dealing with people issues, and that happens because of reactive leadership. If you are sitting in HR trying to figure out what happened after the fact, then you are not able to concentrate on running your department or business, and it steals your time. Email us or call. It's free to talk about it and learn how to become proactive in your leadership. Big or small, we have a plan to build on your strengths and an action plan for your challenges. Join Eddie Schedule, our CEO and founder, for a quick video on what a report does for you. Head over to our website and scroll down to see this amazing video of the DISC Work of Leaders tool. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Yes, easyleadership.com. Check out the DISC Work of Leaders. It's very cool. So we are back
with Casper.
Yes, Casper, the friendly dog.
Yep. Well, he is. He's a very friendly dog. All right. The Houston Texans. They get it done last week. 36-29. We were out to eat while this game was going on. You and I both said that game is over. Lord, did we know we were wrong. They were down 29-10 going into the fourth quarter. Houston scores 26 points in the fourth quarter. Holy moly. What a choke. Did you see this as a win, a good comeback by the Texans, or a choke job by the Jaguars?
I'm going to say it's more of a choke job by the Jaguars, to be honest with you. I mean, it's you got to really screw up to take a game, to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory like that. So I'm more confused with the Jags. I don't think the Texans are going anywhere. I think they are still a problem child when it comes to the AFC South. But the Jags, who I thought were getting on the right track, they seem to have this issue every single year, and it doesn't matter, who the coach is. but they just seem to have this inconsistency about them. And I'd be extremely frustrated if I was a Jaguar fan right now because you have the tools, and obviously you got one of the best players in the draft. I mean, the best player in the draft, and they just haven't been able to stay consistent. So this is more, yeah, it's more of a choke job by the Jaguars than it is a Texans win.
Well, that player you're referring to is Travis Hunter, and he's on the injury reserve for the rest of the year. So the experiment of playing him both ways did not work out too well. You know, I'm going to take the opposite side. I think this was a comeback by the Texans. And I do think it's a little bit of a mix, but I'm going to give a little more credit to the Texans. Their running game showed up. Woody Marks averaged 4.5 yards a carry at 63 and a touchdown. Nick Chubb averaged almost 10 yards a carry at 9.4, 5 for 47. And Davis Mills played pretty well. 292, 2 touchdowns. He did have 1 pick. Found Nico Collins for a $136, and Dalton Schultz scored a touchdown off of that on one of those, and Jaden Higgins had the other touchdown. We know that defense is pretty stout overall. I think the defense kind of, I don't know, took them a little while to find their footing in that game because, obviously after the third quarter, they didn't give up any more points. It just looked like the Texans were out of sorts at the beginning of the game, and they finally found it. They got in a rhythm. Cayley got a feel for Nick Cayley, the offensive coordinator for the Texans, got a feel for Davis Mills. And I think there's been a little bit of chatter here in the Houston area. Is there a quarterback controversy between Davis Mills and C.J. Stroud because of how Davis Mills has played since he's been filling in for C.J. Stroud? So what do you think? Is there a controversy? Do they go with Stroud? No. Do they go with Mills?
No. There is no controversy. Stroud is their quarterback. He's already proven himself enough times that there's no controversy. I mean, Mills is playing to get a team for next year. It's no. If they make that move, then woe be unto them and the Houston fans, because Stroud is beloved in Houston, and he has got them very close to the promised land. And I think if you were to do that, you're going to screw up his entire psyche as far as his team goes. I think that would be a dumb ass move.
So we don't have the reports for next week, the injury reports, but I think indications are Stroud is not going to play again. And I would say, what if Davis Mills comes out and, throws for 303 touchdowns and no picks, and they win, and he's the hot guy. Do you stick with the hot guy? And I know there's ways teams manipulate it to, oh, he hasn't passed concussion protocol, or we're being cautious or something like that. We said before this season that CJ Stroud, it was a prove it year, right? It was a, great rookie year, down sophomore year, and this year hasn't been great for him at all. So I don't know. I don't know if you have a controversy with Mills, but I think as an organization, as the Houston Texans, you got some decisions to make. We kind of talked about the contract options earlier in the season that, well, they could franchise them. You want to sign them long term, but then that kind of hamstrings you, especially if he's coming off a year that wasn't that great, which seems to be that. And you're right, they're not going to catch the Colts in the division. Colts are running away with it. So I think it's a very interesting chapter in the CJ Stroud story these next couple of weeks. I think it could be interesting. It's probably not going to happen. Yeah. Probably right. But if Davis Mills comes out one more week and balls out, might have the fan base yelling like the Cowboys were yelling for Tony Romo when Drew Bledsoe was starting. So, dun dun.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and stay with the NFL. Let's get lost in our NFL roundabout here. And when the NFL roundabout, we like to get lost in the performances that caught our eye or that surprised us. And two teams scored 10 points on Sunday and Monday, and they both won. That is ridiculous, by the way. The Eagles on Monday Night Football scored 10 points and win. And the Broncos scored 10 points and won in their game. Two teams that are supposed to have good offenses. The Eagles are supposed to have figured out their running game. A.J. Brown is making more noise and is becoming a headache. Are you a believer in the Eagles? Do you think they can win another Super Bowl?
Not this year. I just don't think last year they could rely on the running game, and this year it is way down and it's inconsistent. And I think them scoring 10 points is kind of pre-telling of how this offense is struggling. I still think their defense is very good, but I just think because the running game and Barkley is not consistent this year like he was last year. I mean, and the thing is, it's last year, it seemed like every week there was an Eagles highlight of Barkley breaking away or some big play that the Eagles had. And they don't have that going on this year. And as much as Sirianni wants to talk about it's not a distraction, yeah, it is. And it's a problem. And it's funny because AJ Brown reminds me a little bit of Tio when he would get to teams and kind of cause this friction within the offense. But I mean, obviously he wasn't outright like AJ Brown is doing with his tweets and things like this. But here's the thing though, that team is still 7-2 with all this stuff. But I just think when you get to the playoffs, which we're obviously going to get to the playoffs, I think they're going to win the NFC East. There's no one who's going to catch them. And you have those type of inconsistencies, or let's just put it on the running game. If your running game, if you can't depend on your running game to be there when you're coming up against these defenses that have a good pass rush and a good backside to it, then yeah, I just don't think they're going to get there. I think there's some other teams. I mean, look at the Rams. The Rams are just, you've got Matthew Stafford is playing at an MVP level. He is ridiculously good right now in what he's doing. So I just don't think they're going to get past the Rams. And there might be some other, the Buccaneers might have some say in that also. And obviously the Lions. The Lions are, everybody said after the Lions lost their coaches, they were going to have a drop off. Well, no, not really. They're still pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think you actually said that.
Yeah, and usually that's the case. When you lose your defensive coordinator and your offensive coordinator in the same year.
Well, you saw Dan Campbell took over play calling.
Yeah.
So interesting there. I just it's hard to make up of these teams because we've seen the Broncos in action. We saw them play the Texans and Cowboys up close. And they scored 10 points, and yes, they win the game. It's a testament to their defense, but you're supposed to be two really good teams. and the offense just seems to not be there. And it's even stranger for me for the Broncos because they have Sean Payton as their head coach, offensive guru, offensive genius. They have a good quarterback in Bo Nix. They have weapons and stuff. So it seems pretty interesting. But let's move off them. A team got their first win of the season this past week, and the Jets finally get their win. They trade everyone away, and then they get a win. Like, it seems dumb on their part. I'm like, hey, I thought you were trying to get the number one pick around here. So, trade Sauce Gardner, trade Quinnen Williams, and then they come out and get a dub against. Well, I mean, they were playing the Browns. The Browns are horrible as well. Yeah, so they get their first dub of the year. And what can we say about these damn Panthers? They're so schizophrenic, man. I finally pick them to win a freaking game, and they lose to the Saints. To the Saints. Again, the Saints.
The more. Yeah. They're another one. They can't, and this has been a problem for them. Obviously, last year and the year before. It's inconsistency.
I know you don't get on TikTok very often because I've seen your account. So there's this TikTok video that goes, "I'm alive, I'm dead. I'm alive, I'm dead." That is the Panthers. Okay,
yeah,
100%. That's the Panthers. They'll play good one week, and then they lay an egg versus the Saints. But your Bucks, you're talking about the Bucks. Your Bucks got beat by the Pats last week.
Yeah. Well, the Pats are a pretty damn good team. If you haven't noticed something, the Pats have only lost 2 games. Great job, Titans, getting rid of Vrabel. He was the problem, right? Well, he just took over a team that was what the Patriots were in last place last year or something close to that.
Yeah,
and guess what?
They went out and spent a lot of money in free agency. They've drafted well, and he's turned around Drake May. I remember after last year, a lot of people were dogging Drake May, and so I give
rightly so. He wasn't very good last year.
I think you got to look at him like I said. We all know systems make quarterbacks, right? Look at Sam Darnold working with Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings last year. Then he goes to a similar coach in Seattle. Daniel Jones getting out of New York and going to Indianapolis. But yeah, the Pats do look good. You're right there. The Ravens, they win again. Are they back? The Ravens beat the Vikings. Do you think the Ravens are back?
Yeah. They're a totally different team when Lamar Jackson is healthy. Totally different team.
Well, their whole defense got healthy too. So
that kind of helps. Yes.
Yeah, when you have 4 starters, or I think it was more than that. I think it was like 6 or 7 starters out with injury. Now they're back. Their defense is a lot more comparable, but you're 100% right. Totally different team with Lamar Jackson.
And don't look now; they're only 1 game back of the Steelers in that division.
That they are, because the Steelers did lose. What was the game? They lost to the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, 25-10. And the upset of the week, the Dolphins take down the Bills, 30-13. Rough game for the Bills.
How the hell does that happen?
Turnovers. Cook had a huge turnover. If you look at if you just go by stats, you'd be like, "Oh, Josh Allen played great." I think he was over 300, had a touchdown, it was just you were talking about when we were watching it, when we were at the restaurant we were at. You're like division games, especially as you get later in the season. You can't just count on always the better record, and you're 100% right. So the Dolphins are also kind of schizophrenic in how they play football. Be interested to see if they can build off that, and we'll see how the Bills respond. And we all know the weather's starting to turn colder, so teams that run the ball are a little more effective. later on the season. So I wouldn't worry too much about the Bills because they do have one of the better running games in the league. And the last thing I'll say in our roundabout before we take our last commercial break here is somebody got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Can you ever guess who that is?
On their day off. Get fired on your day off.
Great Friday reference. Hopefully you know that was from the movie Friday.
Yes, I do.
And, well, that's not normally your genre. I'll say that.
Genre or genre?
It's normally not your genre of movie.
Genre. Okay.
That's what I said.
I said normally not my genre. Okay. Continue.
We're moving on.
Moving on.
Dable gets fired in New York. Jackson Dart goes out with a concussion. He's being assessed for the 4th time this year for a concussion.
I could have swore he's a rookie, right?
He is a rookie, yes.
4th evaluation.
Yeah.
Something ain't right.
Well, he never slides. He always goes head first. He thinks he's young and he thinks he's invincible. Like we all did back in the day.
He needs to talk to Tua.
He needs to talk to Tua. He needs to call up the New York Yankees or New York Mets and take some sliding lessons into second base or something, because he needs to learn how to slide. I mean, we could see it coming. The air went out of the sails of that team when Scadaboo got hurt. The fire was kind of gone, and from the 2 rookies, and Jackson Dart was kind of a tag team without a partner. So I do think they have something building there. Obviously they're fighting without Malik Neighbors, their number 1 wide receiver as well. He's been out most of the year. So I think the Giants got something brewing. I think that defense is pretty solid. They got a lot of guys on that defense that I would take in a heartbeat on the Cowboys. So, I'm interested to see where they go moving forward. So, all right, let's get our last commercial break from our sponsor, EasyLeadership.com.
Attention leaders planning your 2025 leadership retreat. Are you about to throw $30,000 to $40,000 out the door on flashy speakers and trendy activities that lose impact in 2 months? Don't waste your budget on short-lived inspiration. Partner with Easy Leadership and harness the DISC work of leaders to gain real data insights into your company's real-world issues. We'll uncover your team's strengths and tackle critical challenges in vision, alignment, and execution, creating a strategic action plan that drives lasting, measurable results. Act now. Contact Easy Leadership at easyleadership.com to invest in leadership that transforms your organization for the long haul.
Yes. It is free to talk. easyleadership.com. Check us out.
All right, on to college football, and then after college football, we'll get picks with Pops. The rankings, second week of the rankings came out last night. Not many changes at the top. Still Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama and Georgia around a top 5. Texas Tech does move up to 6, followed by Ole Miss, Oregon, Notre Dame at 9, Texas at 10, OU at 11, and BYU, after their loss to Texas Tech, drops to 12, followed by Utah, Vanderbilt, and Miami, all with 2 losses. So 3 teams with 2 losses in the 9, 10, 11 spot, Notre Dame, Texas, and Oklahoma. Out of the rankings, do you think they're generally correct? You weren't here last week to respond to the first ranking. So week 2, what do you think?
I have a problem with some of these 7 and 2. Yeah, Notre Dame if Notre Dame was not Notre Dame and if Texas was not Texas, I don't think they would be in the top 10. But because you have a team like BYU, yeah, they lost, but they still only have one loss. You have a team like Georgia Tech has one loss, and I think obviously they're looking at the strength of schedule and all that, but that's really where I have an issue. Those teams being right there, I don't think they're as good as their ranking shows, to be honest with you. So, yeah, but everything else, I mean, it's pretty much there. Um, and so that's kind of what I see.
I don't necessarily have a problem with Notre Dame. Their 2 losses was 1 point to the Aggies, 41-40 in week 2. And their first loss, remember they started 0-2 and they lost the first week to Miami, who at the time was 2nd in the country. They're still 16th in the country, and that was only by 3 points. And after that, they win by 26. They beat Arkansas 56-13, beat Boise State by 21, beat NC State by 31, or I'm sorry, 29, beat USC by 10, Boston College by 15, Navy by 39. So I don't necessarily have a problem with Notre Dame. They played a heavy hitter schedule at the beginning. I think most people are rooting for them to lose a game, so they drop out of the playoff, which I think will happen. Texas will probably get taken care of when they play A&M, I would imagine. And I think Texas, don't they have another big one this upcoming weekend?
Texas is, yes, you could say that. They're playing Georgia.
Yeah, so one of those 2 teams will get taken care of. Now, if Georgia loses, they won't drop out of the top 12, but Texas definitely would. I would pick Georgia to win that game. Your other 7-2 is Oklahoma. Their losses are to Texas and can't remember the other one. Brain farting on that. But I think generally the rankings are pretty accurate.
Well, Oklahoma's got a test this weekend. They got to play Alabama.
Okay, so I mean that's either going to bump them up and move Alabama down a little bit, or it's going to totally knock Oklahoma out of it.
Yeah, I think you might be referring to the Oklahoma-Tennessee game that was played a couple of weeks ago, and that was a pretty high-level game for Tennessee at that point, I think.
I mean, Tennessee's ranked 23rd right now at 6-3. So,
no. Maybe you're talking about Ole Miss. Ole Miss beat them when. Okay. So yeah, their last loss was Ole Miss.
Yeah. So
they beat Tennessee.
Some key matchups. You've already talked about a couple of them there. Notre Dame versus Pittsburgh, 9 versus 23. A&M taking on a very schizophrenic South Carolina team. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. You mentioned Oklahoma, Alabama. How about James Madison being ranked in the top 25?
Well, they deserve it. I mean, right now they're 8-1, but once again, my Navy's not getting no love. Now they got the shit knocked out of them.
Well, they have 2 losses. Navy has 2 losses now. So,
oh yeah, but they didn't get any love when they were undefeated.
Well,
how's James Madison getting more love than the Navy did?
It's probably the style. So, yeah, interesting upcoming matchups this weekend. Nothing. You got a few good ones there, but yeah, college football, solid week. Obviously, we're coming towards the end of the year. A&M's got the big matchup versus Texas here in a few weeks, so that'll be huge for that. So, any other impressions?
No, I think the way this is coming down to the playoffs, I mean, the top five really gotta screw up to be knocked out of it.
I mean, Indiana almost had their first loss. If it wasn't
Yeah,
for
yeah, that
a
was kind of scary.
tippy toe right there.
Uh,
So,
yeah,
all right.
but
Well,
that was Penn State after, of course, they fired their coach a
yep.
while back.
All right.
So,
Well, nothing else on that. Let's go with picks with Pops. He is back this week. Very close in the season standings right now, separated by one loss, but he does have 2 wins on me. So last week we both went 4-3. So we tied up last week, and you can see there we both took the Bears over the Giants, both took the Lions, we both took the Jags over the Texans. That was looking good for until the fourth quarter. I took the Eagles, you took Green Bay. You took the Chargers over the Steelers. I took Buffalo, which I thought was a sure Hall of Fame lock right there. The Colts, of course, didn't let me down, and you took the Ravens over the Vikings. Good call there because you normally are a Vikings guy. So, and I also took the Panthers to beat the Saints, which I've already told you my displeasure on that. So, picks with Pops. We got Dallas going to Las Vegas. The mess that is the Vegas Raiders. Pete Carroll running his team like Biden was running the country. That's how bad it looks out there. What do you have? You have Dallas going on the road getting a dub, or do you have Vegas holding serve?
no, I think Dallas wins this game pretty easily. Like I said, you've got now some defensive players. They've had a couple weeks to practice with the bye week, getting Overshawn back. I think Dallas wins this easily, actually.
I don't know if it's easily, but I'm taking Dallas as well. All right, we got the Commanders, your favorite named team in the league, at Miami.
I almost want to say that the Dolphins are going to upset them, but I'm going to go with the Washington football team because they have the stupidest name in the history of stupid names next to the Guardians and crap like that.
Well, it's
so yes, I'm going with Washington.
Is it not?
Isn't
it supposed to be named like after the Commander in Chief? Like,
not that I know of. I thought they named it after a video game. Used to be called the Commanders.
All right. Well, I'm going Miami. Miami at home seems to be tough. They're coming off, got a little bit of confidence, beating Buffalo. I'm going Miami over Commanders. We got the Pack, the Micah Parsons led Packers, who scored all of 7 points at home versus the Eagles, going to the New York Football Giants. Who you got?
You confuse the hell out of me. You say Green Bay to the Eagles to the Giants. It's Green Bay against.
That's not what I said. I said
the
Green
Packers,
Bay against led by Giants, Micah Parsons, who scored all of 7 points against the Eagles, are going to New York to face the Giants.
Okay, so yeah, you confuse the hell out of me. It's going to be the Green Bay. Green Bay's going to win that game.
All right, I have Green Bay as well. I want to say they'll rally after their coach is fired, but if Jackson Dart ain't playing, I ain't picking them.
Well, they're starting Winston.
Yeah,
they already announced it.
Definitely not picking the Giants. All right, we got the roar of the Lions echoing all the way to Philadelphia. You got Detroit, you got Philly. I'm taking Detroit. Where are you going?
We agree on that. I'm taking Detroit also.
All right. I don't know if Philly can score enough points. All right, folks. So we always do the NFC East games. Then we always do the Texans game, and then we do wild cards to fill out, pick 7 games a week. So the Texans on the road against the Titans. Who you got?
You know, this is a difficult pick for me because you've got two schizophrenic teams to me. Obviously, the Titans are the worst, but they are at home. This is a division game. Sorry to my wife, but I'm taking the Titans over the Texans.
Wow. I think David Mills is going to go in there. He's going to have a great game. We're going to get more from this quarterback controversy that I'm starting. And the Texans take down the Titans on the road. That defense travels in the NFL. That defense is top notch. All right. We got 2 wild card games. I'll pick my first one. I have the Ravens going to Cleveland, absolutely murdering the Browns. So I went out on a limb on that one.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to take a difficult game here. The Bucks are playing the Bills. So I'm sticking with my Bucks on this. That the Bucks are going to beat the Bills at home. Because the Bills just look like something went wrong. And it has not corrected.
Well, I mean, before this past week, they beat the Chiefs at home the previous week. So they looked really good. I'd be cautious taking a warm weather team traveling up to Buffalo in the cold weather. But you already made your pick. Can't backtrack now. I have the Jets traveling to the Patriots. I have the Patriots on upset alert. If it was a different team, there's no way in hell I'm picking the Jets to beat the Patriots. Give me Drake May. Give me Mike Vrabel. Patriots over the Jets all day long.
Okay.
And that would round out my 7 games. So what's your last one?
I'm going to take the Chargers going to Jacksonville and beating the Jaguars. I think the Jags are too inconsistent right now. So I'm going to take the LA Superchargers.
All right. There you have it. There's Picks with Pops. You could sponsor this segment, by the way. We could be Picks with Pops brought to you by nobody right now. Because nobody sponsors it. Just throwing it out there. And no one wants a free bottle of whiskey because no one's tried to guess the actual what's in the canter. So, sad day. We'll keep trying. We're going to keep trying, y'all. All right. Well, we're on to the old man's favorite segment of the night, making the most of your moment. What do you got for us tonight?
I am going to share my screen.
Ooh,
because from the amateur golfing game, Caitlin Clark, my team, the Indiana Fever, can she just not be so good at everything? Watch this putt. And it's and there's my girls, Sophie, Lexi. They're out there being her caddy. That is a good putt. You have to admit, being a golfer, that is a good putt.
That was so the percentages of a putt that far are so low. There's an element of luck involved, but that is a good putt. I would love to look up what she actually did on her round. Love to see her ball flight, see if she's an actual legit threat on the golf course. But I mean, the fact that that's the most stimulating thing from the WNBA just tells you everything you need to know.
That's the LPGA. You need to get your sports right. It's a pro-am.
She's out there representing the WNBA at a pro-am. She's not on the LPGA. So,
there's talk that she's good enough to maybe join.
Well, she would make a hell of a lot more money on that tour. By the way, I'm just curious. Who won the WNBA championship?
That is the team from Vegas.
Are you
The
sure?
Ace. Yes,
Okay.
positive.
You even know their name?
Because they're the MVP of the league was complaining that Caitlin Clark shouldn't be out playing golf or whatever. They're always hating on the girls. Always hating on them.
Listen, I think we can be fans of individuals, but no one's actually going to care.
The WNBA is going to take the championship next year if everybody stays healthy.
The WNBA is going to take the championship?
I said the Indiana
No, you
Fever
didn't.
are going to take it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
You
did.
said the WNBA.
Yes, I did. You heard wrong. You heard wrong.
No, you spoke incorrectly, good sir.
You
All
heard
right.
wrong.
Well, there's Making the Most of Your Moment by Caitlin Clark. A 60-foot plus putt. I like Caitlin overall, so solid there. All right, tidbits, randoms, and whiskey of the week. Winding things down on the show. So, I got a new job shooting a cannon, which is pretty sweet. That's a tidbit. So pretty excited about that and the possibilities with that. Found out I can't order my Aggie ring until February, which is baloney. What else? Yeah, I tried to order it. I went online and I looked at the window, and apparently if you're a 2025 grad, you can't order till February if you didn't already. So yeah. Does yours have the diamond in it, by the way?
No one gets a diamond.
Well, it's an option on there.
Yeah, but you don't want the diamond. You want the one everybody gets. Looks like that.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to probably get the cheap one because that one is not even 2,200 now. It's 2,500.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna have to get the cheap finish one that isn't gold.
No, you get the other one later. So can we get to my tidbit? Or are you still going?
Nah. Throw something out there. Go ahead.
Well, there's a reason why I'm kind of wearing this Mission 22. The Cowboys, unfortunately, had a young man take his own life. Take his own life this past week, which is truly sad that someone so young, I think he's 24 years old, was he obviously, they talked about he had a history of mental health problems, but the sad part is you have a quarterback on the team who runs a foundation for Ask for Help, the DAC runs, but it just goes to show how much of people need to reach out before they get themselves in a place to where it's a very dark place, so to speak. We're very familiar with this. The Mission 22, unfortunately, that 22 number is a representative of how many veterans kill themselves every single day. So, I like what Schottenheimer said when he was asked about it. He says, we don't move on, but we do move forward, because he's obviously not going to be forgotten, even though they still have to play games and everything. But it's very difficult when you think of someone who basically had the world in his hands. He was playing professional football, was making millions of dollars, but it just goes to show that it doesn't matter your situation or anyone's situation. If you're feeling like you're stuck or you can't get out of the situation you're in, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't talk it out. That's what vets. It's the big thing is you need to get around people, other vets, try to help out vets because everybody gets down every now and then, but as a veteran, um, I don't compare being in the military as playing professional sport, but you are on a team, and sometimes you feel alone on that team. And a lot of times what happens is it's because you're not reaching out. There's someone willing to talk to you. So just don't stay in that state, and reach out and ask for help. Don't be afraid to, because the hard thing about suicide is not the person who unfortunately commits suicide. It's the people left behind, because then everybody starts questioning, what could I have done? What could I have said? Uh, it's the hurt that's left behind, because it's a death of someone who shouldn't be gone. So hopefully I put that in words that people can understand, but it's just tragic to me.
Yeah, Marshawn Nealon taking his own life, unfortunately, is a tragedy. And on the veteran side of it, so the PTSD Awareness Foundation here in Houston, which is very well respected, you mentioned the number 22. That's a pre-COVID number. So the PTSD Awareness Foundation here in Houston got done with their first post-COVID study, and was not good news. It's actually doubled to 44 a day. And on the first responder side of it, that average about 10 to 11. I say it like that because one of the jobs I have is I work with a nonprofit called the Guardian Renewal Project, and I go out to golf courses and raise money every weekend for PTSD trauma services for vets and first responders, as well as we do food, clothing, housing emergencies, employment placement, things of that nature as well. So very, very great organization, very privileged that I get to do that. And and one of the things we do is fellowship. You mentioned getting around your people. The fellowship piece of it is really, really awesome and really, really good. So, but yeah, if you're out there struggling, it's not a sign of weakness to reach out. It's the greatest sign of strength. And I was on the honor guard for my first 11, or not first 11. My first 4 years in the Navy, I put 1,100 my fellow veterans, brothers and sisters in the ground. Obviously, not all from that reason, but lost too many to unfortunately suicide. So it's a wrong trending direction, not just in the veteran community, but everywhere. And there's numerous ideas and hypotheses on the reason why. And it's hard to fathom as a individual that just scored a touchdown and this last weekend, or the last game he played, and then a few days later at the age of 24 he's no longer here. So rest in peace, young fella. Praying for your family, your friends, everyone that is affected by that tragedy, and anyone else that is affected by that tragedy in other walks of life. My viewpoint
So that's what I would say for my birthday. Wish for everyone is reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Check on somebody you haven't talked to, and somebody. That would be my best birthday present to you.
So if you need someone, if you need an organization, if you're watching this, guardiancommunity.org, you can go to our website, the nonprofit I'm a part of, and they can get you in touch. All our counselors are former vets and first responders that became counselors, so they've been through it. High class, first class counseling that we have on staff. So wish I had a little image to throw up there now, but yeah. So hopefully I guess we'll switch gears and finish off whiskey of the week. No one tried to guess what was in the canter, so no money cost to me this week. So, and no reason to tell you what it was. So, I'll just leave it in there for next week. But that's all I got. So,
all right.
Hopefully we come in here after a Cowboys victory.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Some changes coming to Tired Sports Network, so be on the lookout for those. Might have saw our list on the left of our screen shrunk a little bit. So we wish those shows all the best. They're no longer with us, so cheering for them though. And yeah, so
all right.
Make sure you share, follow us on all our social medias. Share us, like us, comment. Don't be afraid to comment throughout the show, and we'll put you up on screen and discuss what you're throwing out there. So
I gotta go get another piece of my cherry pie that my beautiful young daughter made for me today.
You didn't invite me over to have a slice. That's very rude.
No, it's all mine.
That's very selfish. Those are not the.
Yes, it's my birthday.
I can not the ideals you raised me with. So.
Yeah, well, you should have came by and gave your dad a hug on his birthday, and you would have got a piece. But oh well.
Last time I knew you were busy working, I didn't want to disturb you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting out of here. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Live right here. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, X, Facebook, of course. And hopefully next week we'll be back on TikTok, because this week, for some reason, it didn't go through. So it is what it is.
Let's go Aggies. Gig 'em.
Gig 'em.